25-yard line. The Wildcats there with Jaden Elam, Jackson Adams, Brian Kelly, along with Preston Turner. The ball is at the 25-yard line. No idea how much time is left. The Oak Ridge fans heading on out here. It'll be third down, 11 yards to go.
That was good fundamental defense on the – it looked like a zone stretch play. Number 7 took it outside again like he's been doing all night. We kept our outside leverage and had a host of Wildcats make the tackles. So that's – defense, great job all night long. Especially after last week, giving up so many points. This is a much tougher, hard-nosed fought battle for the defense.
And the ball game comes to a close. It's a timeout by West. I don't know how many timeouts we have left. I know I'll be doing a post-game show with Coach Gaddis down there in a few short moments. Wildcats have the Dragons. The Dragons have been in quarantine the last 2 weeks. They weren't able to play the Meigs County team last week. The Powell ball game scheduled for tomorrow night has been canceled, but Powell found a game. They'll be playing the defending state champion Central Bobcats Saturday. I think Mark Packer's going to do that ball game. So they didn't have it wasn't a regularly scheduled ball game, but they worked it out between the two schools, and that should be a great one on Saturday.
Yeah, wow, that I didn't know about that, and that really will be great. I have gotten to see Powell this year. I haven't seen Central, but yeah, Powell, Oak Ridge will have later in the season as part of our region, and their sophomore quarterback has been really impressive, and the field's loaded with athletes, kind of like what we saw tonight.
Wildcats make another stop here at the 25-yard line. It's going to be fourth and about 10 yards to go. That's Hunley once again on the carry. And boy, now it seems like it's just dragging out. You think that it would be over by now. We were saying that it's going to fly on by, but it definitely has not been flying on by.
You know what it feels like is like a soccer game. At the end of the game when you got the stoppage time and you're just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle and like, okay, finally, here he goes. Now they're calling it. So they just decided to call the game.
22-7 is the final score of the ball game. The Wildcats defeated here at West. West goes up to 5-0 on the year. The Wildcats fall to 2-3. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to send it back to the station. I'm going to go down on the field to talk with Coach Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Wildcats. We'll be back to West. Final score of the ball game. The Wildcats defeated by a score of 22-10. That's your final score. We'll be back to West with Coach Joe Gaddis in about 3 minutes.
I understood what I totally get what you were saying, but it was like at first you're like, it feels like a soccer game, and I've heard so many people go, oh, it's so boring. And so that's what I thought you were getting at, and I was like, and that's why I looked at David. But you had a good point.
Actually, you'll just cue me. Mike, you're going to need to help me up here. I'll be looking for you, and when...
you'll be able to see us.
Yeah, I'll
22-7.
got ground.
And I'll do the that 1%'s the strongest percent. The scoring side right now.
I thought I did respond to you. I must not have seen it. Okay. I'll look. Okay.
He started another commercial.
Okay.
But it late interception. Yeah, what's that? I gotta pop this.
Be careful. Don't fall, whatever you do.
Where'd you put that case? This one?
No teams. Left side of the watch us win and so leave. David, you about ready to go. So let me know when they come back. I think David's ready.
Okay, everybody coming on.
Okay,
Hold on.
welcome back to Bill Wilson Field, where the Wildcats have struggled against the West High Rebels, one of the better teams in Knoxville, 5-0 West High Rebels, as they actually came up on the short end tonight, 22-7. David Clary's down on the field getting ready to interview Coach Joe Gaddis. I'll go over the scoring summary until he gets ready here. And starting off, the scoring was Tyson Sybie kicked a 30-yard field goal for the West High Rebels with 6:34 into the first quarter, and they went up 3-0. And then, with a minute and 51 seconds left in the first quarter, Isaiah Mattress, big running back for the West High Rebels, ran it in from 5 yards out, and the Rebels went up 9-0. Then the extra point by Tyson Sybie was good, and the West High Rebels led 10-0. Then again in the second quarter with 9:21, Tyson Sybie come in and attempted another 35-yard field goal but missed it. Then with 3:48 left in the second quarter, Cole Adams came up with a big recovery from about 5 yards out, and the Wildcats were on the board 6-0. Then Camden came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats were on the board 7-10. Very close ball game. And then it ended at halftime. The West High Rebels 10-7. Then to start the third quarter, the West High Rebels had a 35-yard field goal by Tyson Sybie. This time it went between the uprights, and the Rebels went up 13-7. Then in the fourth quarter, Baker Dance threw a beautiful pass down to Jack Eggleston for a 23-yard touchdown, and the West High Rebels went up 9-7. Then Tyson Sybie came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the West High Rebels led 20-7. And then we don't know how much time was left on the clock because the clock operator was at work. The clock was not operating, but the Wildcats had a high snap, and it caused a safety, and Elijah Rogers recovered the fumble, and the West High Rebels got 2 more points, and they walk away with a 22-7 victory over the Oak Ridge Wildcats. And now, down to the field to David Clary.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Wildcats, joins us here. Coach, it's kind of a tale of 2 different games from last week to this week. Last week your defense struggled. I thought your defense was outstanding tonight. You did a great job against Mattress, against their run. They had a couple of big plays on some pass plays, but for the most part your defense was stout. This week, though, with their athleticism and such, your offense struggled. I mean, you had trouble running the ball. You couldn't throw the ball. The weather conditions, that's a factor, but it was for both teams as well. Had 3 turnovers, I think, in the ball game. Your only score was a defensive score with the fumble return by Cole. But played them hard, played them pretty aggressively. It was a good ball game. The score doesn't indicate to me the way the game was played, but tough loss.
Well, it is defensively, as you said, really aside from the first quarter or part of the first quarter. our defense played really well. I mean, they ran the ball a little bit on us early, but after that, we got things figured out and, played really well on defense, played well enough to win the game. Offensively, we didn't really do much of anything. We completed a few passes. We had a run here and there, but, when you can't run the football at this level, you're not going to win a game like this. And we were unable to run the ball for a variety of reasons. We had some opportunities early, but we made some bad reads and really didn't take what they gave us. Really, in the first quarter, we had an opportunity to make some plays on the ground, but we didn't take advantage of it. And we just, the defense gave us opportunities with good field position a couple times. They made a couple of mistakes with their own snap issues, and we had opportunities there, but we never could take advantage of them. And then we made a few things happen in the second half offensively, but not enough to write home about. And then we had some snap issues of our own late in the game, and but didn't play offensively well enough to win a game like this.
Your third center, I was thinking about that. I mean, you've had 3 different centers, and I know Ethan's a pretty sound guy, but he still had those snap issues. That was really bad in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's a third center we've used now in, I guess, 3 weeks or whatever. Walker Rice got hurt, and he's out for the year, and then Nick Lucas played, and Ethan Hewitt. But, and Ethan did fine until just a rash of bad snaps almost consecutively late in the game. But up until that point, he didn't have any issues at all, so I'm sure he'll get that squared away.
It's a region ball game, so you fall. They go to 5-0. That's your first region loss. Rest of the way, you've got 4 region games next week. I won't keep you long here. You got the Dragons. Hopefully they'll be able to play. I think we were told yesterday that they probably would be able to play, but got to regroup and get ready for it. And it won't be hard, I'm sure, to get you guys up for the Dragons.
I told the guys before this game that the winner of this game obviously is in the driver's seat. The loser of this game, however, has still got a long way to go. We've got 4 region games left, starting with Clinton next week. So, we still pretty much control our own destiny. We could put ourselves in a position to still possibly mathematically win the region, but we got to start out by beating Clinton and getting on track and getting some offensive things worked out. Thank goodness we got some defensive issues worked out from last week, because as you said, it was a tale of 2 completely different teams. We didn't play very good on defense last week. We got a lot of things corrected and did a good job, but offensively we just didn't get it done.
Coach, just your final comments about tonight's game.
I just go back to what I said earlier and what I told the team. You got to be able to run the ball, and if you can't run the ball in high school, then you're going to have a hard time. We threw 50 times last week and set a school record and lost. So you have to be able to run the football. And, until we're able to run the ball effectively and consistently, we're not going to win a game like this against a good football team. And, we've got to figure out a way to get that done.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Wildcats. Let's send it back up to Mike and Jared.
Thank you, David Clarity. This is the Wild Man Mike Sheehan here with Jared Tharp here at West High School after a very disappointing loss, a regional loss to the West High Rebels, 22-7. It seemed to me like, Jared, is like the tale of 2 tales. Last week, the defense struggled. The offense was unbelievable. Tonight, just the opposite. The offense struggled. The defense was very good.
Yes, Mike's very disheartening game. We were in it the whole time, it just felt like there's just going to be a spark. There's something that's going to happen, and we're going to get that ball moving on offense, and it just didn't come to fruition. Like Coach Gaddis said, defense played well enough to win.